everybody, welcome back to my channel, and if you're new, welcome. Today's reaction is going to be a Dax reaction. This is for the official music video for his track Suffocating. Now I believe this was only released about a week ago, so it's a pretty newish song, and I've seen a lot of other reactors reacting to it. I've resisted the temptation to watch their reactions because obviously I wanted to react to it myself. I'm really looking forward to getting into another Dax reaction. Dax to me is awesome. He's brilliant with his lyrics. His music videos are always really cool. So without further ado, let's get into this video and see what Dax has for us today. Here we go.
#1 album in the world. I told you to trust me, and now we got it. Dax is probably out celebrating right now. Give me a call when you can. We have to get that contract signed. You don't have to read it. I've gone over everything. And remember, for tonight at the talk show, keep it light, keep it positive. Nobody wants to hear anything negative and this sad shit. Your life is about to be changed, brother. I'll talk to you soon. Sign that contract.
Just sit in my room, hold my breath. Let all the pressure and anxiety build up. Just let the time pass by. At first I couldn't breathe, now I'm suffocating. Maybe the pressure from the fame isn't worth what I'm chasing. I don't know. I used to say God's playing, now the devil's on my team acting foul and it's all flagrant. Trying to push me off the path that I'm steady paving. Sin is the currency and every day I'm making payments. I don't want to live in it, but I heard a saying, good knows evil cause the houses are both adjacent. I don't know if I should go for these goals. I've seen people gain the world but lose their souls. My anxiety is building as the weight of it grows. I seclude myself in privacy inside my home, and I barely answer calls, and when I see my phone, I'm reminded that the real feeling of being alone is having millions who love you but can leave you, or say that they hate you at the moment they don't fuck with a song. I used to laugh it off, now I hold my breath and suffocate. Then I sit and wait, just to see if I can kill the hate. And as I'm fleeting, I see God at the heaven's gates, then come back down to fight another day. Then I grab that same phone and smile and wave and pour my empty heart into a song that they won't praise. They say patience is the key, but they didn't tell me while I wait I'd be locked inside a steel cage. Something's wrong, I feel claustrophobic. I'm stuck living in the past and not the moment, or the future where my life is only more broken, cause those wounds from the past are still open. I take sips of love and every single time it's poison. I see women who can't see past my employment, or see me as enjoyment, so I can't enjoy it cause the ride's temporary and they leave once they crash and destroy.
Wow, okay, first impressions. This one is really quite deep and poignant and straight from his heart, straight from his gut. Like, this is literally what things have been like for him with regards to fame and sort of dealing with the struggles that come with that, and how he feels inside, the pros and cons, more so the cons of being famous and being known by millions of people. And it kind of makes me feel sad in a way when people talk about feeling like this, because to the outside world you think that these people have it all, right? You know, they're doing what they love, they are earning money from it, they're successful, you know, millions of people know who they are, they've got this huge fan base, and they appear to be financially comfortable. But then you hear a different side, or you see a different side. Everything is as it seems. It's inside, they're possibly going through real struggles and real hardships, and to a lot of people that probably seems crazy, because you think, well, they've got it all, you know, what could they have to feel down about? What could they have to be anxious and depressed about? You know, there are people out there with real problems, with real struggles, and these people are talking about, you know, oh, I've got all this money and all this fame and success, and yet I still feel unhappy, I still feel down and alone. And that is the struggle with fame, unfortunately, is yes, there are obviously some great sides to it, but at the same time there are some really negative things about fame, and there's a lot of pressure, I imagine, to kind of be a certain way, to kind of conform. There's a pressure to conform and to please everybody, and unfortunately you're not going to please everybody all of the time. There are going to be haters, there are going to be people that criticize you, and not in a constructive way, but they will knock you down and try to diminish who you are and diminish your soul and try and take away all your happiness. So everything that you've worked for and everything that you dreamed about, you achieve, and yet there's always someone there to say but, or what if, or put a negative spin on it and try and bring you down that way. And it's really, really sad. And from what I gather from some of his other songs, he has really struggled with this, and the whole fame thing he doesn't really care about, but he wants through his music to put out songs that help other people so that they don't feel so alone. That to him, this is therapy. His music, his songs are his way of kind of dealing with all these struggles and coming to terms with everything that's going on in his head, all these conflicting feelings and thoughts that he struggles with every day. And I love the visuals behind it. I love the fact that he's gone really deep and very personal with this, and it's very brave of him. It really is brave of any artist that does this, and Dax is brilliant at doing this. He puts it in such a way that you think, oh my god, I can totally relate to that. Even if you're not rich and famous and successful and doing the same job that he's doing, I think there are a lot of people that can probably relate to having a lot and to the outside world being successful and achieving a lot and seeming to have it all, and yet inside you're dying, inside you're suffocating. It's not like that on the inside. And I love that he does songs like this, and I love other artists like him that do songs like this, because it really gives a peek into what really goes on and what fame is actually really about. It's not all it's cracked up to be. People think it's this amazing glamorous thing and it would solve all your problems, but instead, yes, although fame and to a degree fortune will solve some issues, and you can do a lot with it, you can do a lot of good. At the same time, it brings with it some very negative things, and it can be quite poisonous, it can be quite toxic. And so far, I mean, love the beat, it's really catchy, and like I say, just the visuals in general, it's just awesome. It really does paint a picture of his inner struggle and his daily life and how he feels inside at times. And it's sad, but at the same time it's brilliant. It's brilliantly done. I'm interested to see what he says throughout the rest of the song and you know, sort of where he goes with this. So let's carry on, and I'm gonna run it back a little bit just because I kind of caught him mid-sentence. I was trying to find a pause, but he was obviously in full flow and I didn't want to interrupt him really. I was trying to find a little gap, but so I run it back just a little bit, and then we'll carry on.
So I can't enjoy it cause the ride's temporary and they leave once they crash and destroy it. I don't think this life is healthy. Why didn't anybody tell me? Everybody'd want help, but nobody wanna help me. I'm an ATM, a therapist, and everybody's friendly, and they hide their real intentions, but my mind won't let me. If I make a sad song, don't ask me if I'm happy. Fuck a hook, my pain isn't catchy. If you relate, or worse, feel badly, fucking pity me at least and check in if you at me. That's the only way I know who it touches. That's why I stay awake and answer DMs by the hundreds, so I don't lose myself and fill my stomach with the feeling that I'm here just to suffocate for nothing. If you know real pain, then you see it when you look me in my eyes. I try to hide it, but they do not lie. I wanna sleep, but if I try, the demons who creep in my dreams will collide. So I stay up and I stare at the ceiling and ask myself if I should even share these feelings. Then I hear a voice in the distance from a ghost-like image say my pain could be somebody's healing. So I close my eyes, and drift to the place that inspires these lyrics. And as I see flames and I scream, I pray it's a place I'll never have to visit.
Whoa. Wow. That kind of got me in the feels a little bit. Cool. Wow, that got me kind of a little bit choked just then. Wow. I just want to run that last little bit back because that was really powerful. Just when he talked about having to, you know, to dig deep, he didn't even know what he really wanted to share the lyrics. but he figured that it would be, his pain would be somebody else's healing if they're going through the same thing. And it goes back to what I said before about how he, even if you're not in exactly the same situation as him with regards to fame and fortune and being successful and being sort of within the music business and stuff, and you're just a regular average person, obviously you're going to go through struggles and pain and issues as well in your life. Everybody does at some point. And these lyrics and his songs could actually help someone else that's feeling the same way that he is for a different reason. So I just want to run that back a little bit, that last bit.
Stare at the ceiling and ask myself if I should even share these feelings.
Should I even share these feelings?
Voice in the distance from a ghost-like image say my pain could be somebody's healing. So I close my eyes. And
this
drift
bit,
to the
wow.
place that inspires these lyrics. And as I see flames and I scream, I pray it's a place you never have to visit.
As I see flames and I scream, I pray it's a place you'll never have to visit. So he's kind of saying, you know, if my pain helps someone else and they don't get to the stage that I've got to, then I've done something good. This is why I do what I do. This is why I pour my heart out in these lyrics and in these songs. This is why I make music, because I hope that it helps and inspires someone else to get through the struggles that they're going through. And wow, that is so brave of him to do this song. I mean, it's a perfect title for it, Suffocating. I can't begin to imagine what it's like. I'm not famous, I'm not successful, I'm not rich on his sort of level, but I don't have to do the things that he does, and go through the things and the inner turmoil that he does. But I can imagine it is so tough at times for all the reasons that I mentioned before, that, you know, there's this expectation and all this criticism around everything that you do. No matter what you do, there's always going to be someone to criticize you and try and pull you down, because for whatever reason, because they're unhappy with their own life, because they're jealous, because they don't agree with what you're writing songs about, because they feel you're too controversial, because they feel that you might rock the boat. And obviously he does songs like that. That's one of the reasons why I love Dax. That's probably the main reason why I love Dax, is that he's not afraid to just tell it the way he sees it, to just say how he feels. And he doesn't give a damn if he offends anybody in the grand scheme of things. He just wants to make music that speaks to a lot of people and what they are thinking and how they are feeling about things and what maybe they want to say, but they haven't got the platform to say it and have their voice heard. He has got that platform, and he has a following, he has a fan base who actually want to hear what he has to say. But what's sad as well is how he said about, you know, these people that follow him and they're fans, but then when the second that they don't agree with a particular song that he puts out, if that's not their point of view, they turn against him. That's fame. That's a sad thing about it, is, you know, yes, you can disagree, obviously, don't get me wrong, you know, you don't expect to surely kind of agree with every single thing that somebody says, but it, at the same time, that doesn't give you the right to turn against that person and try and pull them down and bash them and say that they've changed or that they're not the person that you thought they were. I think if you kind of listen to enough of his songs, I think you kind of should already get an idea of the kind of person that he is. And yes, there's going to be some things that you disagree with him on. That's life. Not everybody's going to agree with everything. No matter how similar you are to somebody else, there are going to be some things that you're going to disagree on. Inevitably, that's just human nature. But the difference is that you can be an open-minded person and say, okay, well, fine, you have a different opinion about whatever it is to me. I don't feel that way. We'll agree to disagree. We'll come to a healthy understanding that, okay, we differ slightly in that opinion, and that's fine, as long as, you know, your intentions are good and it's coming from a good place and a healthy place and it's not really hateful, then that's fine. People are entitled to their own opinion. And I mean, even the unhealthy opinions, that's someone's opinion. You cannot take that away from them. That's a human right to have those opinions. But as long as you're not deliberately going out and hurting someone and fueling hatred and fear and pain, then that's okay. It is what it is. You can't do anything to change it. Sometimes people have to sort of come round on their own to a different way of thinking, if indeed they want to change their way of thinking. Some people just go through the rest of their lives and they never change their way of thinking, depending on what the situation is. So it just is what it is. Sometimes you just have to just come to an understanding, agree to disagree, and just say, okay, all right, fine, I know when to pick my battles. We're not going to have a really sort of flaming argument about this and lose friendship and stuff. Having said that, sometimes you kind of know when something is not good for you, or when somebody's not good for you to have around. And that's the difficult part, is when you know that deep down that you have to kind of not be around that person anymore, or you have to limit your exposure to that person, because they can be toxic, they can be draining, they can be suffocating. Their negative attitude or their bad ideas rub off on you, and it could eventually end up making you feel that way, and that's not actually how you really felt. It's just that it's a form of brainwashing. Like you just become so wrapped up in that person's ideas and opinions that you kind of almost lose yourself and forget about your own opinions and how you really feel about something. So it's a very fine line, I guess, that we have to walk. Yeah, I loved this overall. I mean, out of his pain, his obvious pain within his lyrics and the way the video was done, I loved this, and I would hope that I'm sure that he will help a lot of people, as he does with a lot of his songs and his lyrics. He helps people come to terms with the fact that, okay, then they're not alone, and okay, it's okay to feel like this. You just have to work through it and try and deal with it as it comes, and not let it consume you too much, and do what you can to sort of, negative thoughts, you've got to try and plow through them. And it can be easier said than done, granted, but just keep trying, just hang on just hang on and stick with it, and hopefully you find a way to come out of the other side. And if songs like Dax's, like this one, help somebody out there that's going through a really hard time, that's dealing with a lot of struggles, then that's a brilliant thing. That's great. As he said, out of his pain, hopefully he can help somebody else that's struggling. Props to Dax for having the courage to put a song like this out. As he said, he didn't know whether he actually even wanted to kind of do this, but he felt that he had to. Like, there was like a little voice inside that sort of said, you could help somebody else by doing this. Visually, it was awesome, so creative and so poignant. And I'm looking forward to getting into more Dax. I'm going to kind of obviously keep reacting to his music. There is still a lot to get through. And I know he has come out recently with a new album. So I might next, before I sort of go back and do too many of his other ones, although I perhaps will put out some reactions for his older music as well, which I still have to react to. I will sort of throw a couple of his newer ones from his new album in there, because I really want to see, if this is a taster of it, I really want to see what his new album's all about. I know he's worked really, really hard on it, and he's been putting community posts and things like that out about it, and social media. He's been sort of sharing little snippets of things here and there. So I'm really looking forward to getting into that album, just to see what it's all about. So I really enjoyed this, and I hope you did too. If you did, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe, and turn on your notifications so you know when I post. I'm posting every Thursday and Sunday, and I'm trying my best to sort of catch up with the time that I missed when I had to sort of have a break for several weeks, and that was due to kids being ill and us being ill and just life in general. But I'm trying my best to catch up, and I'm sort of putting out quite a few videos now, if I can, as most weeks, as and when I can. And I look forward to reacting to more Dax. If you have any requests or recommendations, please leave them in the comments below. I will add them to my list. Like I say, I'm trying to plow through stuff as much as I can, and as quick as I can now, putting more reaction videos out. So please, by all means, even if it takes me a few weeks, I will get round to it. I will add them to my list, I promise. And you will see them on here at some point. And I will see you in the next video. Thanks for watching. Bye guys.